I'm going to allow you, colleagues. I'll give you 2 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, we raised here the issue of human rights violation within the area of our jurisdiction. One of the NUP supporters, called Ed Mutwe, was locked up in a basement, tortured, and someone who tortured him was on social media celebrating. The procedural issue I am raising, Mr. Speaker, we have pleaded with this Parliament to allow us to have that matter debated of the torture within our own country. Sam Mugumya, you were with him as young people in FDC. Up to now, we don't know where he is. The procedural issue, Mr. Speaker, is whether we should elevate cases of torture that have happened beyond our borders and don't deal with torture that has happened within the area of our jurisdiction. Because you have a number of our people being abducted by the military headed by Major General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, tortured, and he goes on social media to celebrate. This Parliament is very angry that our girl...
Order. Mr. Speaker, I'm raising a point of order on the honorable member. He was once with us, joined the NRM, and now he has crossed coming, squeezing me here. Is he really in order to come and press me in my comfortable seat? Well knowing the honorable member from Soroti, Ariko, who was in the FDC, joined the NRM, now he has crossed the floor. Mr. Speaker, could you, is it really in order? And I know you are very passionate about the seating system and the order sitting here. Otherwise, you see, it's even talking when we are having the house.
Now, please, Honorable Ariko, I saw the opposition chief whip calling him to come over. I don't know whether he's trying to make him defect from here, but please, I request you do this after here. Honorable, the rules don't allow us to be crisscrossing the floor unless we have free sitting. Please.
So, Mr. Speaker, I am raising this procedural issue for your help. We've raised this matter up to today. I even attempted to move a motion of adjournment to have all the other matters stayed, to have that matter debated. Before we go to, and I'm not saying this is not a serious matter, issues of our people outside Uganda is a serious matter. You even had a criminal in America who said, don't take me to Uganda where they torture people. So the procedural issue, Mr. Speaker, is whether that debate that we have requested should not precede this particular matter that has come as a result of reports in the newspapers and on BBC in the last 2 days.
Thank you. Our Honorable colleague, our Honorable Ssemujju, we take all matters here, especially to do with human rights, seriously. That's why you've always brought them up. We have the Committee on Human Rights, which has done several reports. But the problem is how the law is structured, with where we stop as a Parliament of Uganda. We've made several recommendations on several issues. But also, it doesn't mean that because we have a matter that we consider, some of the members consider very, very serious, when other serious matters come, we don't raise them. You have matters whereby 2 lives were lost. One of them, the family has not even had closure. A child was buried in the cemetery of the unknown. Isn't that a very serious matter that we should be looking at as a Parliament of Uganda? It is a serious matter. So to me, it is a matter of ensuring that we always give you time, we always give you space to raise these issues. We debate, we make recommendations. And we have done it on several occasions. So all matters are critical, and I think we are doing the right thing in allowing colleagues here to talk about this critical issue. Maybe you never know this family, which doesn't even have those to speak for it. Because you see, we politicians, we have a lot of people who can speak for us. But there are those ones who don't have those who can speak for them. maybe it can be an opportunity for their issues to be raised and government takes action. Government is responsible for its citizens anywhere they are. And even if they are under certain law in a different country, it is government should come in case a Ugandan anywhere. The other day, Honorable Shadow Minister for Foreign Affairs raised the issue of our children in Myanmar, and government took action. They were brought back. So in this house, we use that opportunity to fight for anyone who needs support. Honorable, let me first allow Shadow Minister for Foreign Affairs, then Honorable Mero.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, and colleagues for amplifying this matter. As a Shadow Minister, I've had experience and the opportunity to interact with Ugandans in the diaspora. And it is true that Ugandans, mostly in the Middle East, remain with unending challenges. Many are several times found in distress, and indeed we receive so many distress calls. But specifically for United Arab Emirates, I've also had the opportunity to look at the story aired by BBC, and it speaks to what we have been seeking for, that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs must come out and explain where is the delay in negotiating enforceable bilateral labor agreements. This is one of the critical areas we need to address, because with enforceable bilateral agreements, like other countries have done, for example, Philippines, our nationals would be protected while abroad. And it's also a double-ended sword. We also need explanation from the Ministry of Internal Affairs, because largely many of these are trafficked. And we also need to interrogate, why is trafficking on increase? And trafficking is at our borders. This has to be addressed locally when we are to speak about trafficking. How do people exit, especially under questionable circumstances? But for those in the Middle East, we still have Ugandans who are still distressed in Myanmar, in Cambodia. I've had distress calls from Ugandans, especially women, in India. Now we saw the BBC story. The work conditions can only be improved by government through our Ministry of Foreign Affairs and our embassies, negotiating, and we support them in enforcement of bilateral labor agreements. That will safeguard the rights of our workers wherever they are deployed abroad. But when it comes to how they exit the country, we also need a response from Internal Affairs. What is their take on trafficking? And we also need to interrogate where are those cases where government has prosecuted traffickers locally here, because we must deal with both the trafficking from our borders and also the welfare of our nationals when they exit to foreign countries, not only UAE, but also largely in the Middle East. Let's deal with negotiating bilateral labor agreements, and let Parliament support the enforcement of these bilateral labor agreements, because some of them may even have financial implication. I beg to submit.
Thank you. Honorable colleagues, in the public gallery this afternoon, we have a delegation from the Greater Nebi Development Forum. They are represented by Honorable Fiona Nyamutoro, Honorable Esther Foyo-Chan, Honorable Catherine Mavinjina, Honorable Isaac Otimugiwi, Honorable Hashim Suleiman, Honorable Chibu Agnes, Honorable Vu Jen Pachuto, Honorable Emmanuel Rongiso, Honorable Songa Lawrence, and Honorable Gabriel Okumu. They've come to observe proceedings of this House. Please join me in welcoming them. You can stand up for recognition. Thank you. Honorable colleagues, we also, in the public gallery this afternoon, have students and teachers of Mbare Secondary School, Mbare District. They are represented by Honorable Masaba Karim and Honorable Nakayenze Konigarwango. They've come to observe proceedings of this House. Please join me in welcoming them. Colleagues, also in the public gallery, I had been informed earlier by the leader of opposition that he has a team from Nup, Western Uganda, whom I think they are being vetted. Yes, they are being vetted to see who can contest against some of us. So, but they've come to observe proceedings of this house. Let's give them a warm welcome, honorable colleague. Thank you. Yes, I had allowed Honorable Susan Amero. Colleagues, let's just do 2 minutes quickly.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to join my colleagues in appreciating your efforts to raise these issues and passionately the way you have done. Right Honorable Speaker, there's one thing I think we need to look at very carefully. The issue of recruitment of these people who are out is left to the hands of individuals. Government has always taken over some things and performed well. Why doesn't government take over the issue of recruitment of these workers so that government is fully responsible, so that we as a house can appropriate resources to take care of these issues? When these people get problems there, government should know where they send a certain group of people and should be able to repatriate. Other countries, it is government that takes charge of this issue. But now, because we are having individuals doing this, they take anybody and they confiscate their documents. Right Honorable Speaker, me and you faced a challenge in Bahrain. You remember when we found people whose passports were not there, they were taken, other passports were expired, they couldn't renew, others were sick, they needed treatment. But if they are sent by government, then government will have records. But this business of just participating in issuing operation licenses to companies, to individuals, then there's no way we can vet the right people to go there, and there's no way we can begin following this. I request that we take up this issue seriously and let government take the lead in on quarterly basis, sending out whoever we are sending out, and we know the number of people who have gone there, they are registered, and we follow wherever they are, and let government negotiate for better deals. We cannot be going out to do prostitution, to do very shoddy jobs, and yet other governments are negotiating for better contracts. Right, Honorable Speaker, I beg to submit.
Thank you. Now, I think it's also important to know whether these people went through labor recruitment firms, okay, and then we see who can be held responsible. There's a procedure matter from Odur. Procedure.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the procedural matter I'm raising, you communicated to us. And the point I picked from your communication is that there is an international criminal running what would be equivalent to modern slave trade, picking human beings, girls, and selling them to be dehumanized in ways that cannot be described here. So the procedural matter I'm raising, how we have veered off the matter of slave trade and to debate as if we are suggesting that government should take up the responsibility of selling Ugandans abroad for such things and mixing it with the issue of labor externalization. So the procedural matter I wanted you to guide is whether we could restrict ourselves to this criminality that cannot be justified, whether by an individual, whether by an institution, or by government. It does not have a place. And we should not even be debating and suggesting that there is a better way if government is the one who does it. Of course, if the NRM government wants to do, no problem. But our side, I don't think it is something that can be acceptable. Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, I think what Honorable Jonathan Odu is saying is very clear, but it also shows what is coming from members. It shows that this matter is way beyond what we are even discussing here. But with our rules, we have to remain within the framework of what has been suggested. Honorable colleagues, don't you think it would be prudent, okay, for the minister to bring a statement? Because you see, even if this is an international criminal, there are Ugandan girls, Uganda featured everywhere, you know. So the minister, yeah, oh, Lop, yes, I had allowed Lop earlier.
Honorable Speaker, it's good we are discussing this very critical matter. I did watch that documentary, I saw it myself. Very grotesque images and stories of our young people who leave this place to go and seek employment. Eventually they are hoodwinked because many of them are taken. You're going to work as a security guard, you're going to work in a restaurant, in whatever the case might be, and they end up in an illegal, coercive prostitution ring where they are sexually abused. It is the responsibility of government to care for Ugandans here and Ugandans abroad. I'm actually surprised that government has not come out to communicate to the country about this situation and what they are doing. We had expected that that should have happened with immediacy, so that we know you are in charge, so that we know you are concerned about these young Ugandan people. Government has not done that yet. I don't know why. Many of our young people who go for these jobs come back in body bags. We see them crying out, saying, government help us, okay, at the very least, to transport the body back. Government doesn't do that. We don't understand why. Honorable Speaker, as we are demanding for a statement from government, we want it to be a lot more action-oriented, even before the statement. Can we see government begin to take steps to protect these Ugandan citizens? Because you see, a number of them go through these farms that are registered by you, government. They export them, externalize them to wherever, and then they end up in this confusion. We want to see action. But most importantly, Right Honorable Speaker, the bigger issue we need to resolve as a country that we need to work hard towards is finding a remedy to youth unemployment. The 2024 population and housing census, National Population and Housing Census, showed that between the age of 18 and 30, 16.1% of those young people are unemployed. What's even more bothersome is that those who are employed are either underemployed, they're doing very odd work that only enables them transport. What they earn is simply enough for transport. It doesn't include feeding, they can't get where to stay, and that's the challenge we have on our hands. So any young person is desperate to go and work wherever. So when they hear of an opportunity, they'll run quickly to go and board the plane, unfortunately for them to come back in body bags. That's something we need to resolve and remedy as a country. But now that we have this at hand, we want to see action from government taking quick steps so that a few months down the road we are not hearing stories of other girls